Hello everyone, welcome to my lecture series. In this video I will explain Z transform of cosine signal or sine signal. Here's a problem is find Z transform of cos n omega into un. Un means unit step signal. So in solution we see that let x of n equal to cos n omega of x of n. And Z transform of x of n is x of z equal to Z transform of x of n. Minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z to the power minus n. X of n means x of n. This is not x of n, this is un, unit step signal. And for the limit we can see that to infinity. If we draw the unit step signal, then we can see that the limit is 0 to infinity and the value of unit step signal is always 1 and the limit n equal to 0 to infinity. Cos of n omega into z to the power minus n, as u of n equal to 1. We know that the formula of cos n omega e to the power j omega n plus e to the power minus j omega n divided by 2 into z to the power minus n. We can write or x of z equal to half of minus minus e to the power 0. Into z square minus z cos omega that means x of z equal to z square minus z divided by z square minus twice z cos omega plus 1. That means the z transform of cos n omega into unit step signal is z square minus z cos omega divided by z square minus twice z cos omega plus 1. Now another problem is find z transform of a to the power n cos n omega into unit step signal. Now let x of n equal to a to the power n cos n omega into unit step signal even. Z transform of x of n means n equal to 0 to infinity x of n into z to the power minus n. 0 to infinity means if we draw the unit step signal, zero, 1, 2, 3 dot 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 to infinity unit step signal. The range is 0 to infinity. That means 0 to infinity. A to the power n cos n omega into z to the power minus n, and we can write the formula cos n omega e to the power j omega n plus e to the power minus j omega n divided by 2, and we can write this formula. And now we can write from the line is n equal to 0 to infinity a into e to the power j omega z to the power minus 1 into n power n plus half into n equal to 0 to infinity a into e to the power minus j omega z to the power minus n z to the power minus 1, the total power is n. And half of plus cos, we know that summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n equal to 1 by 1 minus a. a z e to the power minus j omega minus az into e to the power j omega divided by z square minus a into e to the power minus j omega into z minus a into e to the power j omega into z plus a square into e to the power j omega minus j omega. square e to the power 0, that means 1. And finally we can get x of z equal to z square minus az into cos omega divided by z square minus twice az into cos omega plus a square. Here is the solution. Means z transform of a to the power n cos n omega into un is equal to z square minus az cos omega divided by z square minus twice az cos omega plus a square. Another sine signal is a to the power n into sine omega n into un. Solution: let x of n equal to a to the power n sine omega n into unit step signal. For the z transform of x of n, we can write x of z equal to summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n into sine omega n into un into z to the power minus n. For un, we can see the range is 0 to infinity and the value of un is always 1. So the range is 0 to infinity and the value of un is 1. And for sine formula, from the sine formula we know that sine omega n equal to e to the power j omega n minus e to the power minus j omega n divided by 2. And in this line we get in this line because we know that summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n equal to 1 by 1 minus a. That means summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a into e to the power j omega into z inverse 1 power n. We can write this formula. And finally we can solve by simplification line to line. Finally we get here in this line from the sine formula we know that sine omega equal to e to the power j omega minus e to the power minus j omega by 2, or we can write e to the power j omega minus e to the power minus j omega by 2 equal to sine omega. This is sine formula. And finally the answer is az into sine omega divided by z square minus 2 az cos omega plus a square. So here's ending the video. Thank you.